What's up, bro? This is Leo with YieldMax So another YieldMax video, and in this video I want to cover Group B. We're almost done with the cycle, and so this is like an early estimate, not final, but the cycle is almost over. One more trading day, so we can go over the projections and the standings where these funds are standing, what's happening right now. And bro, today Nvidia hit finally closed at $4 trillion market cap. Just a few months ago, it was $2.5 trillion. So what a turnaround. I think it's up almost 100% since the lows in April. So anyway, we'll take a look, and I'll leave this table with the projections and how these funds are standing right now. And bro, so first of all, this is not a financial advice. I'm just using this YieldMax tracker to sort of judge how these funds are doing and to make my own decisions. But if you want to try it, we offer a 1-week free trial, and also just for the YouTube viewers, 20% lifetime discount. Link in the description below. If you click the link, it will apply the discount automatically. So with that said, one more thing, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. And by the way, bro, I just made this video about my seasonal trade where I can make 100 to 200% every 6 months or so. So be sure to check it out. I think it's a really good video, and it took me a very long time to make, several attempts. Every time something went wrong. And also this Hui versus Hood, poor man's covered calls, also very interesting, I think. So with that said, let's begin. Nvidia at all-time highs or near all-time highs. Bro, the stock is doing amazing. $4 trillion close right now, and I think it still has ways to go. And Nvidia is doing great this cycle. So we've made 80 cents per share in this cycle, so that's pretty nice. But we're also sitting on a tremendous $2.75 per share unrealized synthetic gain, and our synthetics are very nice. $130 strike and $146 strikes. All of them expire next week, July 18th. And so next week, I think they'll start rolling this. So next week, we will collect all this premium. Now, I don't, so we'll realize all this unrealized gain right here. But I think they'll roll it up. So hopefully, Nvidia stays at this level and continues to go up. So this fund continues to make us money. All right. With that said, let's take a look at shares outstanding. It's not growing for some reason. It has gone down a little bit since last distribution, but I think right before the dividend announcement it will spike. Maybe not so heavy. People right now are piling into PLTY and msty, so Nvidia fell out of favor, but I still love this fund and I have it. So good luck to everyone who has it. By the way, post your projections in the comment section below, but let's take a look at the dividend estimate. So first of all, let's look at the IV estimate. IV currently stands at around 35%, and the IV estimate 46 cents. Okay. Now our algo estimate is 55 cents to 78 cents, and this makes sense because it is slightly below how much they made in the current cycle. Again, there's one more day. I think we already updated today's trades, and I'm not gonna go deep into today's trades. I think I'll do that on the final prediction video. But basically, here are the holdings. We have 160, 162, and $165 strikes. So these two strikes are in danger. They're long calls, and they're 2/3 of the position. So we'll probably take a loss tomorrow on those strikes, but we'll sell covered calls for the next week. That will kind of help with the loss that most likely will happen tomorrow, Friday, when they start rolling this. The $165 strike is still slightly out of the money, just 0.5% out of the money, so it's also in danger. Then we have this $170 strike. Okay, so this is not 2/3, a little bit less. So another 15,000 contracts over here. $170 strike, and I think we'll actually win this one. But what that means is that we'll most likely lose on this lottery call, $170 lottery call for this week. Oh, bro, by the way, I'm wrong. This is for July 18th expiration. This is for next week. So they will not be rolling it right now. So yeah, they will be rolling these three positions over here. But again, we're sitting on a very nice synthetic gain, $2.75, and that's almost like 20, no, like 15% of the current share price. So that's very nice, an additional 80 cents that we've made so far in the months. But again, likely they will take a small loss on these three positions tomorrow, unless Nvidia kind of goes down to $160 level. We don't know, but that's unlikely, because here's the thing. So Jason Wang, he is going to China to talk to them about selling more chips to them. But today he's meeting with Trump, and that will likely pump the stock tomorrow, whatever they discuss. If it comes out, if it's good news, well, there's a good chance it will pump the stock. So again, not the financial advice, but this is a probability and a very high chance of stock continuing to go up. So yeah, but anyway, it's been a good month, and I think this dividend estimate is kind of correct. I think we'll get somewhere around 75 cents. Last dividend was 67 cents, but I think this time around they'll pay a little bit more. Look, the previous dividend, not the last one, but the one before it was $1.62, $1.63. So yeah, I think we might even actually pay over 80 cents. It all depends on how they roll the contracts tomorrow. Maybe they will actually roll some of these calls already. They maybe will start early. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We have this right here, the 177.50 lottery call, and yeah, the rest of the lottery calls might not work out. But if they do, that means we'll lose more money on the short sells. Anyway, that's Nvidia for you. And let's move on. Our boy PLTY, bro, Palantir today is again near all-time highs. I think all-time high was like 146 a couple weeks ago. We are getting close to that again, and we are sitting on an amazing $10 per share realized gain. So they actually made and booked that profit, $10 per share. Their synthetic is also sitting on a $2 gain. That's relatively small compared to the share price, but pretty nice. Very nice. So $140 strike. So I guess they rolled the lower strikes into September, and that's why we're sitting on $10 gain. So if Palantir continues to pump, this will be profitable long term. If Palantir takes a dive, that might result in some future losses, but so far everything is looking good. Where are we standing on the short calls for this week? So right here, 139, 140, 142, 143, 144. Okay, 3 of these positions are already in the money, but we don't know. Maybe Palantir will take a breather tomorrow, and we just roll them out for next week without taking a loss. 143, 144 are still, in the green. Might be in danger, but I don't think Palantir will pump heavily tomorrow. I don't see a catalyst, so probably either safe or like minimal loss, and we'll probably roll to higher strikes. Okay, so we have a July 18th, so that's next week, 146. While it's 2.4% out of the money in the green, that's also kind of in danger. 10 days away, Palantir can easily make it to $146. At the same time, we're sitting on this week's 146 lottery call. That will probably expire worthless. And we're also sitting on $147 call. Actually, no, we have more positions here, bro. So $147 lottery call for this week will probably also expire worthless. $1.50 probably a waste. $1.52.50 also probably expire worthless. And we actually have 2 positions for next week. 2 short sells, 147, 148, 3% and 3.72% of the out of the money. And again, this 146 short call, 2.4% out of the money. And then we have 2 more strikes for next week, 150, 250, 155. Probably not going to win them, but we shall see. Let's see how the outstanding shares are doing. Okay, so it's pretty flat. Probably will pump a little bit right before the dividend because people will want to get the juicy dividend. And let's see what our estimator says. But before we do that, this was one of the lowest. The last dividend was one of the lowest. There was 298 over here and 220 here, and the first dividend was 220. So let's see the predictions. All right, 389 to 555. So yeah, I think we'll pay somewhere. Actually, bro, we might even actually pay more. We might actually pay somewhere like $6-7 because they've made a lot of money in this cycle so far. But again, they'll have to roll these positions tomorrow, and it depends on how Palantir price does tomorrow. If it takes a little breather, goes down to like 139 range, this will expire, or we'll buy them on the cheap and roll them for next week, collect even more money for the cycle, and then our realized gain might even actually go up even further. And if that doesn't happen, if we lose a little bit of money on rolling these calls, then this dividend will probably be more accurate, this dividend estimate. So far, I'm leaning towards like $6 payment, but that's a little bit higher than the algo estimate, and the higher range of this algo estimate is 110% yield. So not very likely. They don't like going far out away from the IV unless they made like a crap ton of money, which they did in this cycle. But again, there's one more trading day, so we'll see tomorrow. And I'll make a full video once we have all the data, probably on Sunday. But IV-based estimate is just $2.70 based on a 53% implied volatility. So yeah, the algo estimate is above the IV estimate, and this is because we have a very nice realized gain and also unrealized gain. So all is good for PLTY shareholders. Good luck, guys. I don't have a single share of PLTY because I actually have Palantir. I've been buying it for a long time. If you watch some of the videos on my channel, you'll see a year ago I sold all my Altria and bought a bunch of Palantir and a bunch of tsly. And dividend subreddit, they were giving me crap for it, calling me an idiot, whatever. But I was buying Palantir at 20 bucks and now it's 142. So who is an idiot? Anyway, good luck to you guys if you hold PLTY. Let's move on. Next one is FBY. So what's happening with FBY? We're sitting on $1.35 realized gain. Very nice, about 8% of current trading price. Another 33 cents unrealized gain. And current meta price 727. I think it was down today, but I'm not sure. So 725 strike on the synthetic. I think they rolled it this month because they're sitting on September 19th synthetic. So hopefully it keeps going up and they keep making money. Okay, short calls seem pretty safe. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at meta while it's loading. So yeah, so far they're kind of in the green. The only one that's at risk is this one right here, 730. But they have more of their positions in the 735 and 732. So those are much safer. What is the stock doing? Let's take a look at the price. 1 year. So yeah, all-time high was right. Well, this wasn't all-time high. All-time high was here in February, 336. No, actually, this is higher. This is 736. So this was all-time high close, 738. We could be in risk, in danger on these three short calls, but we shall see. We shall see. The long calls will most likely expire worthless. Yeah, 752 is the lowest strike on the short call. Probably not gonna win them. So yeah, okay. So today they made $14 million, bro. That's that's pretty much all the money they made for the cycle. And the way they made it is they rolled the synthetic. That was the only trade. Actually, no, this is the trade they took on July 7th. That was Monday. I think that was Monday. Yeah, they haven't had trades since then. Okay, so they rolled the synthetic, made basically all of their money for the month. So the rest of the trades were probably unprofitable. Okay, they made 347 here, 570K here, 2 million, 2.5 million loss here on June 26th. And yeah, and 8. Okay, they don't do a lot of trades, bro. Yeah, it's not a big fund. 10.5 million shares. It's not a big fund. Let's see where the shares outstanding. Kind of flat, not growing. So the dividend has been around 60-ish cents, and the last one 53.6 cents. Let's see what the estimate is for this week, for this month rather. 65 to 92 cents, bro. Okay, yeah, well, that's based on $1.35 they've earned. Let's see how they did in previous cycle. So in the previous cycle they lost 22 cents. Here they made 97 cents, and they paid. So May 16th they paid. Yeah, 64 cents. So based on the earnings, I think we're likely to make like 80 cents per share on this one, and that would be somewhere about 55-60% yield. So the IV estimate 51 cent basically. Yeah, I think they can pay like 80 cents, 75-80 cents. Very likely, plausible. So yeah, so I was in this fund. I sold it as an idiot and I bought ZZ, and now I'm down on that one, and I'm not in FBY anymore. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We make some, we lose some. So good luck to all the FBY holders. Now let's preload BABO, MARO, GDXY, JPMO, MRNY, DIPSE. A lot of funds. Let's go one by one real quick. These ones are small, not a lot of interest in them. BABO made 50 cents per share in the cycle, but they are down $2.16. That's a lot. That's like 15% unrealized loss. What is this? I gotta figure this out, fix this. But buy call. Why is there no last price? I don't know. I gotta figure this out. But anyway, so dividend prediction is 42 cents to 57-ish cents. And okay, the fund is slowly growing, but last dividend 43 cents, $1 before that, and 66 cents over here in April. So they made 50 cents. I think they can pay like 45, but they won't pay more than that. The IV estimate 40 cents. I think they'll pay like 40-45 cents. Yeah, can't expect a lot from this guy. Okay, MARO. So MARO has been pumping, bro. Yeah, $19 close today, plus 75% IV. And check this out, bro. This is amazing. $3.06 realized gain for the cycle plus 482 unrealized gain on the synthetic, $15 synthetic. For next week, they'll be rolling that next week, or maybe even this week. I don't know. But bro, they will be realizing this gain soon, putting it on the books. They'll probably roll up. So this will become a realized gain probably next month. So great. Where do we stand as far as short calls? $18, that's in danger. Probably they will, like Bitcoin just hit 116,000. You know, I don't think MARO is going down tomorrow. So probably this will be a loss. This might also be a loss, the $19 call, and that's the bigger position, so that's good. It's like 60, like 2/3 of the position is a $90 call. So, but let's check where the MARO is standing. I think it's up after market, after close. Come on. Okay, 1942 after hours. So yeah, both of these are in danger, but at least this one is very close, so won't be a big loss. And when they roll it, they'll collect a premium, so that's nice. We'll probably lose this to short calls. I mean long calls, the yellow ones, lottery calls. So yeah, but anyway, bro, $3 per share realized gain. That's amazing. And MARO, now I think this was a $50 stock when it opened. So anyway, while it's loading, let's look at the dividend estimate. $1.84, $1.85 through $3.03. Okay, last time they paid almost $2. Let's take a look at dividends. And where is this dividend? Wow, what's going on? Okay, my data supply really sucks, bro. So I got a manual updated. In my previous video, I showed you that I have this form to manually insert dividends. So I'm gonna fix that. Sorry about that, bro. Yeah. Okay, the price. Okay, this is MARO. They opened at $50, I think. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. Maybe we have incomplete data. Wow. No, this was a $50 stock when they opened. It wasn't a. I don't think they started at 20. Anyway, I gotta fix this. Yo, look, check this out. There's no data on this thing. Wow. Anyway, bro, I gotta fix some things with MARO. And anyway, oh, I know what it is. I think it's one of those stocks that my data supplier doesn't have any numbers for, and that's why we're missing the dividend here on the prices. Whoa, that's pretty bad. Anyway, okay, yeah, we can. There you go, MARO. They yeah, bro, we gotta fix this pricing. So I can't really tell you yay or nay, but we just know how much money they made for the cycle, and I think the dividend will be correct. But bro, sorry about this one. Gotta fix some behind the scenes things. Okay, yeah, let's close all the stuff, move on to GDXY. So 30 cents gain per share. I don't think they'll be paying 85 cents like they did last cycle. Okay, here everything is kosher. Look at that. So I think we'll be paying about 40-ish cents per share probably, because they're sitting on a small synthetic gain and a small actual realized gains. 35 to 40 cents. I think that's what they will pay. Here they paid 37. Yeah, probably they can't afford to pay much this cycle, so they didn't make that much money. But still, nevertheless, they had a green month. That's good. JPMO, check it out. $2 per share, over 10%, like almost, yeah, 11% per share net income. Okay, 11% of the current price. Okay, they made as net income, and they're sitting on a small negative on the synthetics. Let's see. The synthetic is at 290. I guess they just rolled it, and that's why they made so much money in the cycle. Let's see their trades. Boom, boom. Where did they roll? Right here, they rolled it on July 7th. They rolled the synthetics. So buy to close 250. So okay, they rolled 250 into 290. That's how they made most of this $7 million. Right here, they made 8.5, and I think the rest of the time they were losing money. But anyway, the dividend is sitting at 45 to 65 cents, and I think they won't be paying much more than that, even though they made money. That was primarily from rolling the synthetic. How the previous dividends, 56 cents over here, 40 cents. Last dividend was 27 cents. So I think, yeah, about 50 cents, that's what they will pay. Maybe 55, probably not a lot more than that. Okay, MRNY, one of those poop stocks. But bro, look at that. They made money this cycle. Pretty good, 22 cents. Probably also made it from rolling the synthetic. Yep, there you go. September 19th. That's how they made their money. And they're already sitting on a synthetic gain, which is nice. MRNY, 68% IV, very nice. Let's take a look at the dividend estimate. And that shows 16 to 18 cents dividend. Last time they paid 19 cents. Let's take a look. Wow, this fund is growing. Look at that. I would think people like, screw this. But they're piling in. Yeah, relative to previous dividends, this was pretty high, 19 cents. But the share price, 275. It's crazy. Okay, yeah, so I think they'll pay like 18 cents, 17, 18 cents. IV estimate is for 14.5 cents. So yeah, probably 17, 18 cents. Finally, DIPS. So that's the short on Nvidia. I'm surprised they have a very small loss for the cycle. But relative to the share price, it's pretty big. I think it's like 3% per share they lost. And overall, look at that. They're actually in the green for the year. Anyway, let's take a look. The fund was growing here in April. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's retracting a little bit. So 29, last dividend was 29 cents. Now they lost 23 cents. And it shows they're going to pay about 20 to 27 cents. I would say like 22 cents they'll pay because like they still pay. They haven't not paid. And IV estimate 19.5 cents. All right, bro. So this is the Group B preliminary estimates. Again, we have one more trading day, bro. So tomorrow, all eyes on Nvidia and Palantir. The rest of the, well, Meta is kind of nice. The rest of them are very small. So I don't think a lot of you, bro, are in those smaller funds, but I'm sure a lot of you are in Nvidia, PLTY, and some of you are in FBY. So let me know which ones you own, which ones is your favorite in this group. What do you think they'll pay, especially Nvidia or Nvidia? And yeah, all right, bro. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, we're running a 20% discount just for the YouTube viewers, bro. That's not on the website. It's only for you guys on the YouTube. And just click the link in the description to get 20% lifetime discount on YieldMax. And again, there's a 1 week free trial. If you don't like it, just cancel. No hard feelings. But of course, I would love you to stay. And I will be making an early kind of like snapshot of msty video coming up next. So be sure to check that out. And also check out these videos. They don't get a lot of views for some reason. It's all the YieldMax stuff that gets a lot of views. But I would like to kind of branch out a little bit from YieldMax because I do my own options trades also, not just YieldMax. So check out those videos. I think they're quite interesting. With that said, bro, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.